You know what's frustrating as a Cowboys fan? Watching this front office wait and wait to do the obvious, and then pay the price for it later. I mean, Micah Parsons literally said he would have been satisfied if they had just paid him last year. Now look at the numbers. TJ Watt just got a deal worth $41 million per year, $90 million guaranteed. That's the market now. And the Cowboys, they're dragging their feet again. This hesitation, it's gonna cost us. We're talking maybe $7–8 million more per year than if they had just handled business earlier. And what's wild is, this isn't new. It's a pattern. The Cowboys keep thinking they're playing 4D chess by waiting, but all they end up doing is losing money and losing leverage. It doesn't magically turn into a team-friendly deal. It doesn't help us sign more guys or build better depth. All it does is give us headlines we don't need and fan anxiety we didn't ask for. It's hard being a fan when you see the mistakes in real time, and there's nothing you can do. You just sit there watching the value rise while they hesitate. Imagine how different this offseason would feel if Micah had already been locked up. If we could just focus on football instead of playing the will they or won't they game. Parsons is the kind of guy you build around, not negotiate with into July. And yet, here we are, again. Let me ask you something real quick. Do you think the Cowboys should have locked up Micah last year? Drop a quick yes or no in the all comments. I want to see how many of you are feeling the same frustration I am right now. And hey, if you're tired of the front office waiting until it's too late, hit that like button. Let's show them we see what's going on. And make sure you're subscribed too. We're pushing to hit 15,000 subscribers, and every single one of you helps us get there. Let's keep this community strong. So let's talk about this Von Miller situation for a second, because I know a lot of people saw the news and thought, oh no, the Commanders just signed Von Miller. That's a problem. And I get it. The name Von Miller still carries weight. Super Bowl champion, future Hall of Famer. But here's the thing. Are we talking about the Von Miller of 5 years ago? Or the Von Miller of right now? Because if we're being real, the production just hasn't been there. Over the last 3 seasons, Von has 14 sacks. Now I want you to sit with that number for a second. Just 14. You know who has 24 sacks in the same span? Dante Fowler. Yeah, our Dante Fowler. The same guy people keep treating like a rotational afterthought. And that's where we fall into this trap as fans, and even some front offices do too. We get caught up in the name. We hear Von Miller and the memories come flooding back. That guy that wrecked offenses, took over games, won Super Bowls. But that guy, he's not the same dude anymore. And yet Dante Fowler quietly, with far less fanfare, has outproduced him, even in a part-time role. With us, you tell me, who's actually helping their team more right now? It's not about who was great in 2015, it's about who's producing in 2025. Let me ask you this, who would you rather have on the field this season, Von Miller or Dante Fowler? Drop it in the comments. No shame either way, just be real about it. And if you're the kind of fan who wants more than just hype, someone who wants stat-backed, straight-up Cowboys analysis, this is your place. Hit that subscribe button. We're getting closer to 15K, and you being here makes all the difference. And while you're at it, go ahead and like the video if you're tired of people overlooking Fowler. The man's been putting in work. So yeah, the Commanders added Von Miller, but let's not pretend that means they've suddenly become a serious threat in the NFC East. Because when you look past the headlines and dig into what's really going on with that franchise, the cracks start to show. Let's start with the Terry McLaurin situation. That thing's getting messy. Contract issues, tension behind the scenes. And McLaurin is supposed to be one of their leaders. You don't build a stable contender with that kind of friction inside your locker room. And it gets worse. Their stadium situation? A total mess. There's talk that their stadium deal might fall through, costing them millions, and even putting their bid to host international events like the Women's World Cup in jeopardy. That's not just bad PR. That's long-term. Financial uncertainty. You really think that's the kind of environment that breeds championship football? Because I don't. The Commanders made a surprise run last year, sure, No one expected them to go deep. But let's not crown them off one season. We've seen teams flash for a year and fade just as quickly. That Von Miller signing might get people excited, but the version of Von they're getting isn't the game wrecker from Denver. Meanwhile, they've got big-name distractions, unresolved, contracts and ownership still trying to steady the ship. So ask yourself, are the Commanders really building something, or are they just collecting headlines? I want to know what you think. Are the Commanders legit, or are they just another NFC East hype train waiting to derail? Drop your prediction in the comments. Where do you see them finishing in the division this year? And while you're at it, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. This is Cowboys News TV. We keep it real, no fluff, no fanboy spin. Just the truth every Dallas fan needs. Like the video if you're not buying the Commanders' hype, and let's keep this conversation going. Because when the real games start, it's not the names that matter, it's the wins. Man, you can almost feel it. Football is finally back. The off-season distractions, the speculation, the endless what-ifs, it's all about to take a back seat. The team charter is set to land in Oxnard on Sunday, and that means one thing: training camp is here. Finally, we get to talk about what actually matters: football on the field. It's been a long road to get here, filled with drama, contract debates, fake rumors, and more headlines than highlights. But that changes now. We're done talking about practice in the abstract. We're talking real practice, pads on, roster battles, position updates, coaching decisions, all the stuff that actually shapes a season. And I don't know about you, but I'm more than ready. This offseason felt endless. One storyline after another, some real, some manufactured. And through it all we've wanted is to get back to what this team does best: compete, hit, work, grind. This next stretch is where rosters are made, where surprises emerge, and where coaches really get their fingerprints on this squad. It's also where you start seeing which guys are locked in, and who's just along for the ride. And for us fans, it's our time too. We finally get to shift gears from guessing to watching. Let me ask you, what are you most excited to see at camp this year? Is it Micah in full form, Dak leading this offense, the new rookies fighting for a spot? Drop it in the comments because I want to hear what's got you hyped. And if you're like me, if you're just grateful the off-season drama is finally in the rear view, hit that like button. Let's celebrate the return of real football. And while you're here, make sure you're subscribed. We're trying to hit 15,000. And if you're riding with us into this new season, we want you on board. From here on out, it's not about headlines, it's about helmets. Let's go. You know, sometimes being a Cowboys fan feels like a full-time job. And it's not just about watching the games, it's the waiting, the worrying, the off-season drama, the endless debates about who's worth what and when they'll get paid. It wears on you. And if you're like me, there are days you just want to tune it all out and get back to why you started watching this team in the first place. The love of the game. Mark Holmes said it best. Sometimes you just wake up tired, but you keep pushing. He's building furniture for his daughter, managing 2 job sites, and still finding time to talk football with us. That's the grind, and it reflects what a lot of us feel. Life's busy, things pile up, but when you care about something, whether it's your family or your football team, you make time. You show up. And that's what this fan base does better than almost any other. We show up. Through the ups, the heartbreaks, the questionable front office decisions, we're here. We complain because we care. We debate because we're passionate. And we stay loyal because this team is part of who we are, even when they make it tough. Micah Parsons said it. When people don't see your value, you've got to work harder. That's not just true for players. That's true for fans, too. We work hard to support this team, to keep believing, to carry that hope into every new season. And now, with training camp here, it's time to shift out of that noise and back into the heart of it. The grind, the growth, the football. Let me ask you something before we wrap. What keeps you loyal? Year after year, no matter what keeps you repping the star? Let me know in the comments because I promise you're not alone. And hey, if you believe in this team, even when it tests you, subscribe and ride with us. We're building something real here, and you're part of it. And before you go, tell someone you love them today, and tell them the Cowboys are coming.